If this time was in the age of social media like it is now, I promise you, everybody standing in that line outside at that bank would have had their camera phone out. They would have had their phone out recording what happened to me. But at that time, this was 2010. Smartphones was kind of like just like coming up on the scene, but it wasn't like it is now. But if it was back then, everybody in that line would have had their phone, because that's all people doing. It's like people don't help you. They pull their phone out and record before they help you. Welcome to Receive and Relate. If this is your first time here, I'm so glad you clicked on this video for story time. My name is Tara Walker. I'm so glad you're here. If you are a returning subscriber or a returning subscriber, okay, if I can talk right, or a returning visitor, welcome back. Hey y'all, hey. Okay, so going back to my journey, being married to my narcissistic ex-husband. This is another episode. I don't know the number. It should be down there. I've been forgetting to put the numbers up and everything. I just been pushing it out because I got so much more. Listen, you think it's a lot now, just wait. So now this episode, this probably gonna make you mad, and I done already prayed before I started to make sure I don't get back in my feelings again. Okay, I'm turning the call off. So this episode, okay, so if you've been following along, you saw my episode where I revealed what I revealed last episode. If you haven't, go back and watch it. So now I am beginning to basically, you know how they say put your big girl panties on. I'm in this place now where, okay, I'm no longer allowing you to control every single part of my day. So I took my keys back. What do I mean by that? So he used to drop me off at the train station so that I could go to work every day and then pick me up, right? And then he would go most days, okay, claiming he was doing business and doing research for business. But most days he was going up the street to the Starbucks playing chess with old elderly men or whatever. And be sites and be telling me about, you know what I'm saying, would come home telling me about the, this one, how many games he won or whatever. One of these times he said that God told him he would never have to work another day in his life again while he was married to me. I don't know about his God, but I know my God ain't no liar. Ain't never been no liar. Won't never be no liar. Okay. So how did God say that? But every time we departed from each other prior to marriage or after marriage, you always got a job. But you said God said you, okay. Anyway, so I digress. Okay. So, like I said, I started taking my keys back. Remember when I said the last episode, it was the one prior to this, I had said there was a time where we had got into this argument at the time when I was recording. I couldn't remember what it was. And I was like, we got into this altercation, and then I got out the car. We was yelling. There was this lady that used to live on the ground floor, and that he would talk to from time to time, from what he told me. And I think the lady prophesied something about me. I think he said something. I think he told me that she prophesied something about me before too. But anyway, she's supposed to be Christian. I don't know. I had never actually met her. He had always met her. Why? Because he was the one that was always home. You know what I'm saying? So I was at work, so they had more communication with each other. They would see each other more often. And so when I was yelling outside the car, he got embarrassed. Because remember, okay, narcissists don't like for people to know their business, okay? Everything happens behind closed doors. Can't nobody hear outside what's going on. You know what I'm saying? They don't like to be embarrassed. They don't like people to know their business. They don't like people to really see what's going on. So he got mad because I was like, I was going off on him. I'm going to tell you why I was going off, okay? So now, I had forgot the last episode, why it happened, and then the Holy Spirit reminded me why that had happened. So let me tell you what happened. So this was a Friday, because I got paid. So we went to the bank. My bank literally was like feet away from my complex, right? It was Wells Fargo. at that time. And so it was next door to my apartment complex. So we just, you know what I'm saying, just really whipped around the corner real quick. So while we in the drive-through, I relayed to him that I'm not going to church tonight because my church at that time had service on Friday nights. So I ain't have to tell him, but I was telling him anyway, right? Now, I'm getting money out my account. Okay, this is a Friday. I got paid. I'm getting money out my account, and he was in the passenger seat, right? He was with me at the time. So he, I'm telling him what you know, what's going on, and that I'm not gonna be home that Friday night. And so he gets an attitude. Right? He gets an attitude and he's like, what do you mean you're not going to be home? You know, you need to go to church. You know what I'm saying? You need to, you know, just telling me what I need to do like he my father, whatever, right? And I'm like, nah, I'm not going. I already made up my mind. I already told I definitely got to do that for that person. I already told my friend that I'm coming over her house tonight. So tell me why, y'all. We come out of we was in the drive-through, right? So we come out of the drive-through, and then we come to the light where there's the you know, the four-way intersection. You know, you go right, you go across, you go left. You know how it is. And it's on Silver Hill Road. So anybody that's from PG County know what I'm talking about. It's over there across from Penn Station, that Wells Fargo over there, okay? And them apartments was, I can't even think of what they're called right now. But the apartments that we lived in was right next to the bank. Okay, so we at the light. So this Bama is still in my ear talking about, you know, he still want, blue, whoop, whoop. And I'm like, you know, and because the narcissists, they don't like to be ignored. You know what I'm saying? They don't like to feel like they disrespected. They could do all the disrespecting on the planet. But when they feel like it is a whole different ball game, right? So tell me why I'm at the light. So obviously my foot is on the brake, right? This Bama takes the shift gear, and shoves it into park. Gets out. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I mean, it was like he was demonically influenced at this time. Gets out the truck, comes around, opens the driver's side door, and grabs my arm to yank me out of the truck. And I'm like, what the heck are you doing? Right? And I can see, like, cause you know, like just now when I just looked up in my rearview mirror, behind me, I can see people. It's Friday. It's a payday, right? So there are people in the ATM line behind me watching everything that's going on, but not near person, you know, walks over, tries to assist or whatever. They watch the whole entire thing. But that's what I was saying in the beginning, like, people don't, at that time, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't so like it is now to whip out your cell phone, but they ain't do that, but they just sit there and watch. You know what I'm saying? So he yanking me and I'm trying to like fight him, like, you know, like, get off me. And so somehow I like just kind of like lost my balance, so a way that he really was able to get me all the way out. And I'm actually, at this time, I'm smaller than I am now, right? And so he able to pull me out the truck. He pulls me out the truck, pushes me back to make sure because I started standing. That's right. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for reminding me. I started standing in the way of the door, so he couldn't close it. You know what I'm saying? He pushed me out of the way of the door, slams the door, the car door, locks it, puts the car in gear, and drives off and leaves me standing there. And like I said, I look and people, I remember a dude kind of like with a smirk on his face too. Like, I'm like, dang, like, dude, you a whole man. You couldn't come over here and help you. So, but I ain't had to worry about him because I'm telling you, I believe he was an angel. He was God sent. He was in the drive-thru and he seen me walking. So now, remember I said it's next door. We wasn't far, thank goodness, but it didn't matter. None of that should have happened. I should not be on, mind you, y'all, this vehicle that I'm sitting in right now is crazy. I've had this vehicle for almost 20 years. This vehicle that I'm sitting in now is the same exact vehicle that I'm talking about in this story. Yes, I've had my big baby. Me and my husband call her Big Red. I've had her for many years. God has kept her and kept us with her, and with minimal problems. God's a keeper. But anyway, this is the same vehicle I'm talking about right now. It's a SUV, right? I'm now walking home. I don't have no choice, right? But like I said, it's next door to where I live, but still I shouldn't be on foot now. How was I in the driver's seat of my own vehicle and now I'm on foot? I'm walking, so right, because I don't have a vehicle, and he's an older guy. As I'm walking, he rolls down the window, and he had a younger guy with him in the passenger seat. Looked like he might have been his like grandson. He looked like he might have been like 14, 15. And only reason why I felt comfortable because I seen the young man with him. Because if he was by himself, I probably wouldn't have took him up on my offer. So on his offer. So what happened was he rolled down the window, and he was like, "Ma'am, I seen everything. I don't care how far you need to go. Where you need to go, I will take you." And I was like, "Sir, you don't have to do that. He said, "I don't care where it is. I will take you." And then I said, "Okay," because like I said, I saw the young man. So it made me feel more comfortable that, that the young man was with him and he wasn't by himself. So I told him where I lived and whatever, and he was taking me. So the crazy part about it was he was a man of God. He was ministering to me. Which wasn't long, because remember I said I live next door. So he was ministering to me while he was driving. He was like, "I know you." He was looking in his rearview mirror, talking to me because I was in the back, of course. And he was like, "I know you probably don't want to hear this right now." He said, "But I promise you it's going to get better. It's going to get better. You're going to get past this. It's going to get better. You're going to get over this. It's going to get better. It's going to get better for you." Basically ministering to me. So by the time he finished, we pulled up, y'all. I heard him, but I didn't hear him. Because when I tell you, I know I was sitting there like a real live cartoon character with the smoke coming out my ears. I was like, it better, because I'm getting ready to kill him. And I grabbed my purse, and I heard him say, oh, shoot. I grabbed my bag, and I said, "Thank you," got out the truck. When I tell this story, that's why I had to pause, y'all. Because every time I get ready to tell this part, listen, I just had to take a quick prayer real quick. Because I feel it all over again, okay? I still forgave him a long time ago, right? But boy, every time I tell this part, y'all pray for me. I get out this man's car, right? Truck. And my ex-husband is sitting in the truck, and he hadn't even gone into the apartment. He's sitting in the driver's seat. He sees me get out of the truck. And you know what he said to me? "Tara, why are you taking rides from strangers?" Y'all, if looks could kill. On sight, when I looked at him when he said that. Okay? On sight, if looks could kill. He would have been dead on the spot. I said, "What?" And that's when I started going off. So now you understand from the last episode when I was like, there was something happened, and this lady used to sit in the window. He knew what I'm saying, and I couldn't remember at the time what happened. That was the altercation that happened. I was like, "I know you ain't just asked me that. You just left me. Da, 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 da." So then he says, "Oh, you want to play? Oh, you want to play?" And that's what I was talking about the last episode, how he just had this feminine energy when it came to my stuff. And so he runs up to the apartment. We lived on the top floor. He runs up the steps, and he's like, I got you. You want to play? And I go up in there after him, because I remember, because through past arguments, he will always threaten something with my clothes. I could not understand for the life of me, why was it my clothes? I take your clothes, I rip them apart, I burn them and stuff like, what I'm saying? Stuff like that, stuff that at times females would say. Now, I would never say stuff like that. That just wasn't my type of flow when I got angry with you. The first thing I didn't think of was going to your clothes. But some women would do that, right? You know what I'm saying? He would always go to me, and I'd be like, You know what I'm saying? Like, I was sitting up in there with Fendi, Chanel, Louis Vuitton, you know, all type of labels in there, and I didn't. Okay? You know what I'm saying? But what he did do was, he, like I said in the last episode, he opened up my armoire. I had clothes in dresser drawers and in the armoire. I do have a lot of clothes, right? I still have a lot of clothes right now. Most women do. There's a lot more stuff that I need to give away. But anyway, he opened up the doors of the and just like start throwing them out on the ground. So I get up, throwing them on the floor. So when I walked in the bedroom, all my clothes is now on the floor. It's like, who are you and who does that? Like, but yep. So that was that episode. And after that episode, when that happened, that's when I called. I think that might have been the first time I actually called my pastor at that time in the marriage. You know what I'm saying? Remember, I told y'all prior to marriage, when I was living with him and he had that ulcer and he was bleeding out in the emergency room or whatever. And when I called my pastor after that, when he was in the and when they was working on him, I went out to the car and called my pastor, and I was like, I can't deal with this no more. And that's when he was like, he gotta go. So now that was prior to marriage. Okay, that's when we was just living together as roommates. This was marriage. So I think this was the first time I called my pastor about him in the marriage, and I told him what happened over the phone. He actually answered the phone that day. And I was shocked because although I had his number for a while, remember I was the minister on the teen choir, so I had his personal number, but sometimes he wouldn't answer. And I wasn't the person that called all the time, but most times he wouldn't answer. But that day he answered, and when I told him, it's like I couldn't see him, but I could even the pause on the phone. He was like, "What?" You know. And so anyway, that's it for this episode. I hope y'all was praying for me. We got through it. Thank you, Lord. Whoo, child. Okay? Every time I think about it. I remember when I was telling my husband now about it. He was like, he did what? Like, he had this look on his face like, who does that, right? This is the type of person I was married to. But nobody at church knew that, though. Nobody. To this day, they don't know. They know now. Because it is now recorded and posted on YouTube as I'm talking to you watching this back now. You're watching this on YouTube. Oh, they know now, and they're gonna know a lot more. So this is the stuff that I was going through with him when I was married to him, y'all. And he was trying to make it seem like we had this perfect marriage, or try to make it seem like I was the victim. I'm sorry, he was the victim in our marriage. No, he was not. I was. But anyway, if you are enjoying this series, it's a doozy. I know it is. I encourage you to like and share, subscribe, and yeah, and come back. Okay. If you can relate to anything that I've said in this video, drop a line in the comments for me and let me know. Because people receive when they can relate. You know, there are people out there who have gone through some stuff like I did, and probably worse. Okay. Yes, and that's it. I love you, but know that God loves you so much more. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.